Yo, what's up guys? Rissa here with Culture Fuzz. Thank you so much for joining me back here on my channel. If you guys saw my very last Culture Fuzz adventures, then you will see that I got to meet the amazing Tansu and David, the founders and owners of Viva La Boba here in downtown San Bernardino. And they have the cutest shop and the yummiest drinks, and it was so good. And if you haven't seen it, click the link in the description box below and go check it out. So on part 2 of this Viva La Boba adventure is now Culture Fuzz Conversations, where I got to sit down with David and Tansu and talk about basically how they got here and some of the obstacles that they had to overcome. So if that is something that you guys want to see, make sure you guys stay tuned.
We met at a 4th of July party.
In San Bernardino.
In San Bernardino, and our mutual friends. We met in July of 2016, but we didn't start dating. Like I moved away, and we didn't start dating until the following year, until 2017. And then we were together. David moved to LA because I was working in TV at the time. I really hated my job. I would spend a lot of times crying in the bathroom or crying when I got home. It was horrible. So David was like, why don't we always follow through on that idea of opening a boba shop? And it sounded crazy, but
well, originally it was going to be like a coffee shop, but then yeah, when Tansu jumped in, Tansu and I would go every day to get boba, like everywhere. I think we've probably tried like 60 plus different unique places. And so we were like, you know what, like we really wanted to open a community place, and most people do that with coffee. And so we just wanted to do it something that felt more like us. And
something that they didn't already have in San Bernardino.
Yeah. And so we just did boba, and we've had to learn everything.
I was reading some of the publications that you guys have, and I was reading, I think it was The Sun or LA Voyage, where you guys had no experience with coffee or boba. Or how did you guys go about gaining that experience and that knowledge to not only curate the drinks, but to develop an entire business and brand?
I think we live in an age where a lot is accessible from Google. It's pretty amazing. You could do a lot of things. We just happened to be connected with the right people. We had friends who had worked at other boba shops who were absolutely paramount in helping us develop our drinks and come up with like even the equipment we needed to buy. Like we knew nothing. But honestly, I think if you're really committed, you can Google just about anything and figure it out. All it takes is a little bit of research, or a lot of research.
And also, we would just go into boba shops and talk to the employees, be like, what are you using? What's that? How did you do that? How long did you do that for?
We called it T-search.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing.
We're witty
Yeah.
like
and
that.
we didn't go into one place that wasn't willing to like at least humor us for a little while and share some of their knowledge.
This being at downtown San Bernardino, I read that it kind of became abandoned after like the crash or like the recession or something like that.
There's a couple of things that just the crash, they built a bus line here that blocks all the right turns, and then I think just people kind of left San Bernardino.
So when we moved in, there were no businesses.
Zero. This whole block had 0 businesses.
Which is fascinating that you chose this block to open up Viva La Boba. Why? Why did you choose this area?
We didn't want to displace anyone that was already there, so we wanted to focus on an area where no one was there that could use space and could use something interesting. And we wanted to build up actual downtown. We didn't want it to be just Viva is one step in a larger plan of inviting more and more businesses to come in. So David actually just had a lease signed with a record shop. They'll be opening soon.
They're 2 local guys from Muscoy right here, so.
And they have tons of vinyl, and they wanted to open a record shop, and so that'll be coming here now. We have Fit Camp, which is amazing.
So we've kind of started, because we were first to like give it a try and risk down here, we've kind of started this domino effect of like other small businesses locally trying to come here and give it a try.
Which is what we wanted, and we've specifically said no. People have come in and said, we have a huge for lease sign, and they're like, oh, we're interested in opening office space, and we immediately are like, sorry. We're looking for comedy clubs, we're looking for food, we're looking for...
Yeah, I just signed a lease with a comedy club actually, so yeah yesterday.
We want we want culture, we don't want office space, because that's the antithesis of what we're trying to do here.
Speaking of culture, I was also reading the fusion of the types of boba drinks that you make. It's like a Mexican Taiwanese fusion thing going on. Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, we are a multicultural family now together, but I was raised in an Indian household, and David's pretty white, but he's also Jewish, and his second mom growing up was Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican. So I grew up with a lot of like Mexican influence, and I was always eating like chile relleno and all that stuff. So
when it came to making our menu, we wanted to make sure we had things on the menu that not just other people didn't have, but things that we would want to drink. So a lot of boba places don't have horchata, but it's something we like to drink all the time. And it's something a lot of people around here love to drink because the community is primarily Hispanic. So we incorporated horchata. We don't try and make it traditionally, of course. There are people who can do it more traditionally than we can, but we wanted to put our spin on it. So that's adding Taiwanese tea to it and making our horchata milk tea and adding boba, or the option to add different toppings. So that's what makes it Viva La Boba. That's what makes it the fusion and special.
Where did the inspiration behind some of these mixes and these flavors come from?
Honestly, we give our employees a lot of free will to just make whatever the heck they want. And so I would say a good like 5 to 10 of the drinks on here are creations done by them.
Our biggest seller, our Abuelita cold brew, was made by someone who no longer works here. Debbie, if you see this, shout out to you.
Yeah.
We just walked in and she's like, try this. And now it's our number one, Abuelita cold brew. We never would have come up with it. So
yeah.
We're only as good as our staff and how hard they work and how much they care for the customer and how much that the customer enjoys the drink. That really matters to them, and you can tell, because that way no one walks out with a bad experience. And if you don't love your drink, what was the point?
Honestly, like if you have an idea, just go with it. It might suck. You can try it again or try it differently. So
what is the most popular drink on the menu?
Right now, it made our top 5 seller, our Santa's nightcap, which I pulled out of my ass because we wanted a Christmas special or like a winter special, and it was like the day before, and I was like, well, shit. What if we tried, I just came back and experimented. What if we tried this, this, and that, and the Santa's nightcap was born. And now it's a top 5 seller, so it always feels good when that happens. I always joke when I leave, I'm like, oh, I love this place. But I actually do, because you can customize a drink however you want. You can make sure you walk out with exactly what you want. I've been to boba places in LA where they're like, sorry, you can't, that topping isn't available with that tea. Why? You literally just put it on top.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like we own this place. We like leave, we're like, that was a great place to get a drink.
And then we're like, oh!
Yeah, it's
So I love the fact that culture is the forefront of your guys' mission, and I think it's gonna make a huge, huge difference. And that being said, because when you're creating culture, you're going against the grain. It's probably one of the hardest fucking things to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the obstacles that you guys have faced, and what are some of the tools you developed to just like get past the bullshit?
Excellent question. So since before we even opened our doors, we've had a lot of people on social media, on Instagram, be like, you guys are gentrifiers, like, why are you doing this, blah, blah, blah. First of all, that's not exactly the same definition of gentrifying as you think. But at first we tried to, at first I got angry, I tried to defend myself. Then I was like, okay, let's sit down and have a conversation. But they didn't want to do that.
Some people would have conversations with us, and then, you know, they wanted to be a little enlightened about who we are, what we want to do. And they would leave, I think, feeling better about the situation.
For the people who still remain angry, I just don't let it get to me. First of all, having haters I think is a great sign. Someone like cares enough, like there are people who are making like Instagram accounts, they're spending time on this, and it's like all that time could have been used helping the community. So we just do that instead. So it used to be like, oh, defending myself on social media, and now we just ignore it and we focus all our energy on making the community a better place. So now we put on park cleanups, we have free community cuppings, we have a volunteer event coming up on Christmas Day. That sort of thing is so much more worth our time than defending ourselves on social media.
Yeah, we're always, I think people think we're like maybe not listening to them, but a lot of times we're just working so hard on the next project that we want to try to bring to downtown or like to for the community that I think they think that we're ignoring them basically.
But you're just focused on the mission.
Yeah, we're just really focused. Like we just don't want to waste any time. Like you get one life. We're just really just trying to put our effort into something that we care about.
When you find your why and you find your purpose, you begin to filter out like who deserves my energy, like what fights are worth fighting. Like it's a game of chess. And
absolutely.
Even though you're not, and it's not that you're ignoring the person, it's like, look, like I get where you're coming from, and it's all love at the end of the day, but I don't have room for it, so I'm just gonna I'm here. The
You
red
totally
carpet's
get
out for you.
it. But it's helpful, honestly, to realize like, okay, some people are gonna focus their energy on that. How can I focus my energy to be more positive?
Right.
It's helpful to be reminded that not everyone is on the same page as you, and that's okay.
What are some things that you guys have learned about yourselves throughout this process?
This process has been a test of my patience more than anything in life, I think. There's so many times I wanted to move fast, and we have all the right tools and everything that we need to push forward, and a small little bump in the road will get in our way and delay us months at a time.
Yeah.
So it's happened a few times now. We're in the process of installing an espresso machine. It's taken months. Even just building the place took months. There's so much red tape from the city of San Bernardino. They honestly don't make it easy at all for new businesses to open. It's like it's
actually,
an infrastructure
the
problem.
county of San Bernardino health department is known as one of the hardest health departments to open a restaurant in. So even LA is less restrictive.
Is less restrictive. So I think that's really harmed people, because we're lucky that we have the resources to push back and say, or try again. But for a lot of people, you get told no that many times. You don't have money just laying around to keep fighting or to try again or to fix the small little errors they come up with. They have honestly been horrible.
Yeah, we were easily delayed opening this place by at least 3 months, and
we were ready to go.
Why are they making it so difficult?
I think
they're just so anal about things that I'm very anal about being healthy and clean and that sort of thing, but it was stupid things that just don't matter, that should not affect a business from opening, that they try and get you. It's like they don't want you to open.
Like, for example, we have a sink in the front here, and then we have a sink in the middle, and then we have a sink in the back. And
wasteful.
It was not good. It was barely good enough for them. You're supposed to have a separate hand wash sink, which is fine. I get that. And then you have to have a 3-compartment sink, which is fine. And then you have to have a dump sink. And it's I can also wash my hands in the 3-compartment sink. At a certain point, it just becomes very regulatory and almost doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there are rules that they have in place that are unnecessary. And it's wasteful, and we have limited resources and space. And so to make us take things down and then put it back up again, and it's so, again, we have great relationships with our contractors. They're flexible with us, and they were happy to assist us. But most people don't have that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if they get told no that many times, what are they supposed to do? Rebuild a sink 8 times?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just really annoying because it makes it hard for other businesses to open up.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, we're lucky to be able to have all that. But yeah, California's already expensive. Paying rent and paying your workers is already expensive. So then to have to deal with all those delays too, and all the red tape, it's so hard to open a business, especially a restaurant or anything food related these days. So.
And I know that can get very wearing and extremely discouraging. How do you guys get past that mental toughness? I know a lot of us, myself included, is wait, is this why? Why am I even doing this? What do you guys do to get past that mental block?
I think I relied a lot on David, because I'm the type to get annoyed quickly and then be well, that's it then. That's it, and I'm annoyed, and now what are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. But I think David has always had a vision for San Bernardino. He went to Cal State. He's been here a long time. He owned property. He lived here. Literally, when we met, he lived in a house in San Bernardino, and so he has always loved the city far longer than I have, and he's always had this vision. So whenever red tape would come up and I would get really frustrated, he'd be look, anyway it's taken this long, what's a little bit more time, eventually we're going to get there and it'll all be worth it.
Yeah,
and it happened. We're here now. So
I think it comes down to consistency. I tell a lot of people this. Don't give up the first time, because you may be onto something and you just may not know. If you give up the first time, you're never gonna know. But
which I love to give up the first time. I'm I didn't get it right immediately.
But that's the thing. I've learned the most through my failures. I've failed in business many times, but I've also been successful. The goal is you're successful just a little bit more than you failed. And if you can do that, then you are successful, in my opinion. So if you can learn from your failures and continue to go on, then you're going to be a good business person. You're going to be a good business owner. So.
And that's a good point. And that applies to us even now. We're not breaking in the money by any means. Most businesses won't see a return for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And we get that. We're right along with them. But we from the get-go, we knew what we wanted to we knew we wanted to give our employees a living wage, not just minimum wage, like a living wage. We knew we wanted to, instead of focusing on marketing, put a lot of money into free community events. So we're taking losses financially all the time. But again, for the vision that we have, it's totally worth it. And if we have to wait 5 years to finally start making a profit, that's fine. Because right now, all the other good that it's doing is making it worth it, even if it's not monetary.
David, what have you learned about yourself throughout this entire process?
I think I can be a micromanager sometimes. I think I've definitely, see Tansu saying
That's
yes.
real. Ooh.
I love for things to go perfectly. I love for things to work out every time. And so I end up like trying to get involved in every little aspect. But I think what I've learned is to trust that the process will work with time, and also trust other people to be able to do their job and kind of share our strengths and weaknesses. Like Tansu's strengths is definitely this, and it's definitely social media, and just honestly, like Tansu could walk up to a person and be best friends in like 5 seconds. Myself, on the other hand, I think
everyone hates him.
No, not that far of a difference. But like, you know, it takes me some time to warm up to people, to trust them. I don't know where those issues come from, but anyways, I had a great childhood. I had a great childhood. I've learned to let go a little bit more and let things work out themselves instead of being way too involved in it. Because I think overall it hurts me, because then like the other people around me don't get to learn and make mistakes. And so they don't get to try things on their own and take risks on their own and bring that to the table. So then it's always me, picking everyone up. But if I let everyone fall down a little bit, they do pick themselves up. They have their scratches, but they figure it out. And so that's important. I think to let the people around you and your team around you develop, you have to give them an environment in which they can make mistakes freely and fix those mistakes. So that's what I've learned about myself. Still learning. So.
Talk to me about branding. So when I walk in here, I get very like homey, warm, welcoming, even down to the logo. It's like very colorful, it's very friendly. What is like the mission statement behind Viva La Boba?
Ooh, it's a concept called hygge. So
That's like our atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Danish term. So Tansu and I talked about this in a lot of detail. Even our lights are set at like a specific temperature. They have a high CRI, which is like how nice the color looks on someone's face. So when you come in here and you do a video or like you're having a conversation, you all look beautiful. It creates a certain mood in here. It's a feeling of warmth. I think a lot of coffee shops choose a lot of like dark espresso, like brown or black type colors.
We didn't want any of that.
Yeah, we wanted it to be a very light, airy feeling. Like you come in here and it brightens your day up. And so that's kind of...
A lot of our design is influenced by our travel. So we got the concept of hygge when we went to Copenhagen. And hygge is just basically a term that means coziness. It's a feeling that evokes coziness. Mm-hmm. And so that applies in our lighting and in our design. When we went to Mexico City, we fell in love with the tiles. So we sell genuine Talavera tile, but we also have it all throughout the store.
There's a lot of like Mexican-made ceramic in here.
And it's all genuine from Mexico.
Yeah, we have a hookup, yeah.
But primarily we wanted to be representative of the community and a welcoming place. We really wanted to focus on being a welcoming place, not just... And that's even with our design. We intentionally have outlets everywhere. We intentionally have Wi-Fi. Whereas
it's very inclusive design.
Yeah. Whereas Starbucks has exclusionary design. They took out all the outlets because they don't want people to sit there anymore, and their seating isn't as comfortable. But we worked with a specific guy in LA to design our seats to make sure they were comfortable and looked good. We worked with a specific local guy to make our tables, to make sure they were sturdy but at a comfortable height. Like every single detail, even if it seems too small, it's worth thinking about a couple times, because a small change could have a huge difference on the atmosphere.
And I think that's a testament to just sticking to the why, sticking to the core value, like even down to the very like minute details. It's like, does this line up with brand?
Exactly.
And it's so important, because you might not think it's not important, but it is. Like,
Right.
We had an argument one time over the bathroom because like I wanted to like make the bathroom look super nice and like do all this, and Tansu was like, it's just a bathroom, someone's gonna pee in there and that's it. And I was like, you know what, I want it to be the best bathroom experience someone's ever had in a coffee or tea shop. And so even in our bathroom, it's nice and it's done to the detail that we want it to be. So
That's true. We try and be as eco-friendly as possible. So instead of paper towels, we have an air dryer. We switched it out. Our straws are biodegradable.
Yeah.
They're made of sugar cane.
we like tried paper straws and they get mushy, and so
Yeah, gross. So we knew paper wasn't going to work, but we wanted to be eco. If we couldn't, we're definitely not going to do plastic. And sugarcane was our best bet. It holds its own. You can have it in a drink all day, which I don't know why you would, but if you did, it won't disintegrate. Paper straws, you can't even finish your drink and it's disintegrates.
Talk to me about your cupping events. Is that
Mhm.
what they're
Oh,
called?
yeah.
Talk to me about those. Like how you're bringing awareness to Viva La Boba. Talk to me about those events.
So we'll usually have like one or two types of green tea and then one or two types of black tea, and it's all we pour it right there on the spot, so it's fresh. Like we show everyone how to smell it, how to taste it, and try to get like different notes out of it. It's a very high level like tea snobiety kind of class on how to get more out of your tea and coffee. So it's not just like getting a K-cup, or it's not just like getting in the drive-through line at Starbucks. You actually learn like why you should brew green tea at 186 degrees, or why you should brew black tea at a higher temperature. Like we actually will teach you all those things, and we do it once a month. So, and if you come into our store or you look on our Instagram, then
We'll always let
we
you know
always
when the
have
next
it
one is.
posted. So.
Wrapping this up, guys, what are two things that you would advise rising or aspiring entrepreneurs if they're looking to start a brick and mortar?
Two things.
Don't do anything you're not passionate about, because when the hard times come, and oh boy, they will.
Yeah.
You need to be able to fall back on at least I'm passionate about this. And so if you can't do that, then you're doomed from the start. You better love what you're doing. And we love boba. Thank God.
It's still hard, but we love it.
It's still hard, but there have been times where if I didn't love boba, then I would have given up a lot. So I guess my second piece of advice would be don't give up. As cheesy as that sounds, I learned that from David, because I'm the type who wants to give up almost immediately if it doesn't go exactly my way. And I've been challenged time and again to be more patient, because things will not go your way in this whole process. And not giving up, though, has obviously paid off, even though there were so many times where I'm like, nah, I'll just do something else. If you're passionate about it and you don't give up, ultimately you will succeed.
Yeah. Can I give three?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so one thing I like to say a lot, which doesn't make sense, is like take infinite risk. You only get one life, so take a lot of smart risk, as much as you can. The second thing is work with great people. Surround yourself with amazing people. Don't be afraid to be not the smartest person in the room, and that is also cliche, but like seriously, like
It's a good thing to not be the smartest person in the room.
yeah, I think they say like, oh, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, and that's so true. Like surround yourself with people that are better. It doesn't have to be better than what you are at, but like if you don't do construction and you need a construction guy, find a great construction guy and hang out with that person. And then the third thing, and how I kind of really got to where I am today, is OPM, and what that means is other people's money. And like you can't grow a business, especially if you're coming from nothing, with nothing. And like unfortunately we live in a society with a system where money is power, money is everything. So if you can find a like-minded investor or a group of people that believe in you and are willing to invest in you and your idea, is so important.
Why is he smiling so much?
I want the opium price, so like.
We run an opium den in the back.
That's how we survive, yeah.
He's loving it. This is his dream job.
He's like that guy on YouTube that smiles while he's cooking. Like, look, they're all smiling. They know what's up.
They're having a great day, honestly. I can't fault them for that.
OPM, other people's money, very important. Find a group of people that will invest in you and your idea.
That's it. All right, guys.
That was good, right? Yeah, we got it.
I told you, aren't they just the freaking cutest? I love them so much. Like seriously, they just are amazing. That is today's Culture Fuzz conversation. So make sure you guys check them out, show them a lot of love, follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. If Viva La Boba has a Twitter. But anyway, I digress. So if you like what you saw, like what you heard, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment down below. And don't forget that I am on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Culture Fuzz. Twitter is Culture Fuzz Fuzz. You can also find all of these videos and some extra content on my Medium at Culture Fuzz, as well as my website, www.culturefuzz.com. Yeah, so that is it, guys. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.